Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. But baby, you hardly even notice when I try to show you the song is meant to keep you from doing what you're supposed to, like waking up too early. Maybe we can sleep in. I'll make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. We could pretend it all the time. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. But maybe harka ukulele, mama made a baby. I really don't mind the practice, 'cause you're my little lady. Lady, lady, love me, 'cause I love to lay here lazy. We could close the curtains, pretend like there's no world outside. We could pretend it all the time. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. Ain't no need, ain't no need. Can't you see, can't you see? Rain all day and I don't mind. The telephone is singing, ringing, it's too early, don't pick it up. We don't need to, we got everything we need right here, and everything we need is enough. Just so easy when the whole world fits inside of your arms. Don't really need to pay attention to the alarm. Wake up slow, wake up slow. But baby, you hardly even notice when I try to show you the song is meant to keep you from doing what you're supposed to, like waking up too early. Maybe we can sleep in. I'll make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. But we could pretend it all the time. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. Ain't no need, ain't no need. Can't you see it's so much? Can't you see, can't you see? Rain all day and I don't mind. Can't you see, can't you see? You gotta wake up slow. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're checking out one of Jack Johnson's all-time classics. It is, of course, Banana Pancakes. This one's a kind of an interesting tune because it's simple on the surface, but actually there's quite a lot of detail if you want to get into exactly what's being played with the thumb and the bass parts. It's also an interesting song because Jack plays it on electric guitar with a pick, he plays it on acoustic guitar with a pick, and he plays it acoustic guitar with fingers as well. I'm going to show you the fingers one because the pick one is essentially the same notes, but you just play it with a pick and make sure that you kind of your hand makes a slightly bigger motion when you're playing it with a pick, but it's essentially the same. So let's go through. Just start at the beginning and check out the riff. This is the first riff there. So we're starting third finger, 5th fret on the thicker string, slides up to the 7th fret. First finger in the 5th fret of the 5th string, back to the 7th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret on the thicker string, then the open string, and then first finger slides from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 again. 1, starting on beat 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Did a slightly different fingering that time. I don't think it really matters, but I think Jack does that, all of those notes there with the first finger. I would sometimes drop the 3rd finger back. Doesn't really matter. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Now here we've got an A minor 7. So this is kind of a tricky bar chord because we're holding down 5 strings with the bar. Okay, when you're playing a regular kind of minor like that, the 4th string is played with a little finger, but here can be a bit of a mission to get all of those notes to ring out nice and clearly. You want to have a good pressure there with your 1st finger. You can back it up with your 2nd finger if you like on top of the bar. I don't tend to do that, but a few people do fairly successfully. I think that generally just rolling the 1st finger kind of round to the side a little bit tends to help. That's how I tend to go for it. One thing I'll notice here just on the pick, and I'm using my thumb for all of the riff, but just to get a kind of slightly crisper chord there, I'm using my 1st fingernail for that little down strum. Then it's the same thing again to a G7. Again, often people just play G, sometimes Jack plays G, but fairly sure on the record it's a G7. So regular G, and just lift off the little finger, getting that note there on the 4th string is the note that's going to make it sound like a G7. So you don't want to be muting that string with the underneath of your 3rd finger, because then it's not really a G7, it's just a G with a muted note. Okay, so putting those 2 together now. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. Now there's a little variation here that happens just the very first time he changes the way the riff is played. Now I learned this song a long time ago and I've played it a lot. Actually, it's probably been 5 or 10 years since I played it before today, but I had played it a lot before and I kind of learned it wrong. I learned this riff and used it most of the way through the song. Now, even though I know that that's not right now, sometimes when I did a little playthrough at the beginning, I accidentally did it the old way. I don't think it really matters, and I'm sure that most people probably didn't notice unless you're like a extremely pedantic Jack Johnson fan. But just be aware of that. This variation is this. She uses this very first time. Can't you see that it's just raining? So instead of going, it's okay. Slide it to 7, 5, 7, 5 on the 5th string. Then we've got from the 7th, sliding from the 3rd to the 5th. Can't you see that it's just raining? The second part, you pretend it on side. That's just the same as before. So it starts with the little riff just once instrumentally, then it does it again with the vocal with that variation. But that variation only appears to be played once at the very beginning of the song. Otherwise the riff is the same as it's played in the intro, even when he's singing along. Right? So just be aware of that. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if you play the variation. Whenever you have the account, you see that it's just raining, but that's not what's on the record. So just to be clear, sometimes I do it wrong. Now, after we have that, we got this little chord here that's played as a stab. Now, again, lots of people I see playing it this way, but you can, if you watch any of the videos of Jack Johnson playing it, he's clearly just using this little grip here. So 2nd finger, it's important, is muting the thicker string. Then it's 5th fret with the 2nd finger, 4th fret with the 1st finger, 5th fret with the 3rd finger. And the thinnest 2 strings are just muted. Now, if you're a lot more comfortable playing D7 that way, then it's not really going to be a problem. You're adding a note, but that's not a big deal. But it just sounds more like the record if you use that little D7. That's played just on beats 3 and 4. So, ain't no need to go outside. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just down hits, probably using my nail there again before we start in the verse. Now, the verse chords, we got G, again, sometimes it's G7 on the record, but I'm fairly sure Jack seems to just play regular G most of the time when he's playing it live at least. And the chords are G, this little D7 that we just looked at, A minor 7, which we looked at the intro, and C7. Okay, C7, make sure the first thing is muting the thicker string there. 5, 7, 3, 5. Did I say something funny there? 3, 5, 3, 5. And then the thinner string. I don't really hear the thinner string as much. He doesn't seem to hit through that. But it's there. Okay, just regular C7 bar chord, A shape. So we've got G, D7, A minor to C7. I'm going to talk about the rhythm in a second, but just make sure you see that that's the chord progression there for the verses. Now rhythmically, I'm playing the bass note of the chord with my thumb, and I'm doing like using fingers 2, 3 and 4, sometimes first finger as well, just to do a little hit. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'm pumping the chord. So by pressing the chord and relaxing it, I'm not muting with this hand, I'm just relaxing. If I keep my hand down, the chord rings out. As soon as I relax the pressure of my fretting hand, the chord stops. That's how we can get this nice, as opposed to, that's without any left hand muting. Very different, right? So you have G, D7, A minor, C. So very often with the C it's 1 and 2 and. So thumb, up, down, up with the first finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. This is the kind of rhythm that's really worth spending a bit of time to get right. Slow it down again. Now, one thing you'll notice if you watch Jack Johnson play, his rhythm is really super relaxed. I absolutely love his music, the way he expresses this relaxed feeling, like maybe it's being a surfer dude living in Hawaii, but every time I put the music on, I just feel like happy and relaxed. And when I watch him play, it always looks so effortless. But watch his rhythm hand. It's always nice, moving consistently and really relaxed. I think it's a good lesson for all of us to just be playing along and trying to keep it as relaxed as possible while you're playing these sort of things. It's not, shouldn't be angry and tense, even when you've got the hit. It's got to have that feeling of relax. I really like it. Such a great little groove. Bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, up, down, up, bass. Now, obviously, if you're struggling with your bar chords and you're struggling with your rhythm, this might not be a great tune to start off with, because adding that rhythm part to bar chords already, you want to have some degree of kind of confidence with the chords before you start playing a rhythm like that, and it's going to get a little bit more complicated as well. So that's the bit that you want to start off with, for sure. Now, again, one thing, like a little mistake that I make when I perform the tune, which I'm going to show you anyway, is the very last time he plays the C chord, he adds in a little riff. Now, I always forget about the riff, especially if I'm singing at the same time, because I'm thinking about the vocal and what's coming up next, and I didn't learn it when I initially learned the song. So I was just listening to it again now, and I'm like, yeah, actually, I need to explain that last little detail for you. So on the C chord, we got the G, D. He just does this little thing. It's outlining a C. It's like a major 6, but it's just like the little riff on the different strings, sliding up to the 7th fret on the 5th string, 5, 7 on the 4th string. So just that last time through the sequence, G, D7, A minor. Okay, it's just going back into the chorus, the friend it all the time. So let me see if I can do it with the singing. I always muck that up, but I'll make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. And again, like a lovely, the chord progression is really simple. It's just the A minor here, the A minor 7, same one we've been using, and a G, but you get this. It's such a lovely rhythm. Definitely worth learning this rhythm first before you start adding the riff in. Okay, so let's talk about that. It's going thumb, up, hit, up. And the up is an up brush with the first finger. So thumb, up with the first finger, hit, up with the first finger again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm really trying to hit in with my hand and get a really nice little hit there. You can see that it's not from muting with the left hand. You want to be thinking about getting that hit purely with the strumming hand. It's not like lifting the chord up and doing this. That's not the process. It's that. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. patterns like this can be a little bit frustrating because you do have to practice them slowly and very carefully first to get the kind of the mechanical actions in the right order. But once you've got that, you really want to focus on it being relaxed, and that's what will make it work properly. If you never go to that trying to make it relaxed, which is already a bit of a paradox, but really focusing on trying to keep your body as relaxed as possible, that's the way that you'll start to lock into the groove. If you don't ever do that, it just won't ever kind of sit right. So I definitely recommend just spending some time getting used to the bass, up hit, up bass. Maybe going down to the G, which you're going to do in a little bit anyway. There's a section where we have to move just the A minor to the G. And just thinking about that groove, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... Notice that I'm changing the chord, and 1 and 2 and slightly early, 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so when it comes time to put that into practice, you're going to play a bit of that and then you're going to go to the riff. Okay, so you're going to just do it for one bar. So let's go from the verse. I make you banana pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. We could pretend it all the time. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. But maybe. Okay, so quite a few things already that we've got. The verses of this 1, 2, 3, 4 with the big hit. Really great little groove to work on. Then you've got little riff going into verse with this really nice little strumming pattern. Back to a riff. Strumming pattern. Riff. Strumming pattern. Back to the chord, and then stay. And then we've got the hit there on the D7 chord. Verse 2 is exactly the same as verse 1. When we get to chorus 2, it's exactly the same, but it's extended. So let me just go from the end of verse 2. So we could close the curtains, pretend like there's no world outside. We pretend it all the time. Can't you see that it's just raining? Ain't no need to go outside. Now just keep it. Ain't no need, ain't no need. Just bouncing between those. You see, can't you see? Rain all day and I don't mind. Now we're going into the bridge. Telephone is ringing, singing, it's too early, don't pick it up. Now we're going to a bigger D7. So we've started on the A minor 7 that we're familiar with already, then this D7. So we're not going to that D7. Just that in bridges generally have some other element that's a little bit different and make them stand out a bit. So in this case, he's playing D7 a different way, and I think it really does make a kind of a lift to the vibe of the bridge. So from the A minor, telephone is singing, ringing, it's too early, don't pick it, D7. We don't need to, we got A minor, everything we need, and everything we need is a D7. Just so easy when the B minor fits inside of your arms. You E minor with a D sharp bass and then to a C. Wake up G to D7. Wake up G, and then the stacks. Let me go through that one more time and add the rhythm in here. Now there's some complexity going on here with the rhythm as well, because he starts alternating the bass always when he plays it on acoustic, sometimes when he plays it on electric, so it's up to you whether you want to pick that out or not. But basically he's moving between the thumb playing the thicker string and the thumb playing the fifth string. Telephone is singing, ringing, it's too early, don't pick it up. And here, the bass is going from the fifth string to the fourth string. Telephone is singing, ringing, it's too early, don't pick it up. We don't need to, we got everything we need right here, and everything we need is enough. so easy when the whole world fits inside of your arms. Don't really need to pay attention to the alarm. So this is an E minor, and it's just dropping. I always feel like it wants to drop a whole tone, but he definitely just reaches back a semitone. It's what the bass plays as well. Sounds nice, and then goes to the C, G, to D7, and back to G. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're back to another. And then it plays all of the way through verse 1, all of the way through chorus 2, so the extended long chorus. There's a tiny little bit of ad-libbing, can't you see, can't you see? You got to wake up slow, finish on a G chord, and that's your tune done. But as I said, there is quite a lot of kind of elements going on here if you want to play it properly. It would be very easy and probably a good idea to simplify it to start off with and just work on getting the chords right and keeping the strumming really super simple. I do feel like this is kind of an intermediate, even maybe an upper intermediate kind of level song, because there's quite a lot of things going on, but it's a really nice one to learn all of these things. It's one of those songs where by learning the song, you develop a whole bunch of new skills, and I think that that's a really, really great thing. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun playing it. There's so many beautiful Jack Johnson songs. I've been on a bit of a Jack Johnson binge lately. The weather's been pretty awful in the UK, and I really feel like his music somehow lifts me up on a miserable day. The sunshine comes through the record. I don't know how he does it, but I really like it. So, yeah, I hope this song brings you some sunshine too. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye-bye.